What's up, guys? So today we're talking about Donkie Booysen, Jerome Donkie Booysen. Now, if any one of you has watched the movie Snatch, you'll remember a guy called Boris the Blade or Boris the Bullet Dodger.
If it doesn't work, you can always hit him with it.
Boris the Blade, or Boris the Bullet Dodger. As bent as the Soviet sickle and as hard as the hammer that crosses it. Apparently, it's just impossible to kill the bastard.
Now, that is Jerome Donkie Booysen. The guy has evaded a total of six known attempts on his life. The guy has three brothers. One has passed away. One is in jail, Michael Booysen, and the other, Colin Booysen, is one that we're going to talk about as well. Now, Jerome and his brothers, they grew up in the Belha suburb of Cape Town, where actually their father founded the rugby club called Belha Rugby Club. Now, this rugby club is still ongoing, and in fact, Donkie Booysen is the president of Belha Rugby Club, and for that he got exposure, and they actually exchanged jerseys with the national captain of the Springboks, Mr. Siya Kolisi. So actually, on the rugby side of things, Donkie Booysen was actually a good player. He reached some national, provincial levels. Jerome went to school, and then upon leaving school, he'll go to rugby. From rugby, he'll go to work. The guy would wash dishes from 5 p.m. all the way to 12 p.m. So now, upon leaving there, he went on to work for the Cape Town city, the municipality. He worked there as a building inspector. After taking an early retirement from that work, and then went back, this time as a client, started buying those buildings. So it said some he actually bought for as little as $100, which is something like $7 or $7.50. While all this happening, on the other side, Jerome is being linked with the Sexy Boys gang. It has never been confirmed. Even up to now, it's still an allegation that he's the leader of the Sexy Boys gang. So the Sexy Boys gang is actually eternal rivals with the Hard Livings gang. So back to Jerome. Jerome he is accused of being the leader of the Sexy Boys gang, and once he had the nightclubs, it means this is where he possibly met the Russian Ulyaninski. Remember Ulyaninski? We talked about him when we were talking about Cyril Beaker. Mr. Booysen pulled out of the deal, and he left a vacuum. Now it was only Nafiz and Maglifme. Enter Colin Booysen. Who is Colin Booysen? Jerome Booysen's brother. Essentially, they took over from Cyril Beaker. Now, by virtue of taking over there, they become enemies with the gangs that were against Beaker. So Sexy Boys gang is not part of those gangs because it goes along with Beaker. It went along with Beaker because Jerome is Beaker's gang. So remember, the Sexy Boys gang originates from Belha, where these guys, Jerome and his brothers, come from. So it's kind of territorial. 2019, Jerome's lawyer is actually killed. Now there's a bit of a scuffle. Did Jerome kill his own lawyer? Could that happen? Or did the rival gangs and the rival business people actually take him out? Now, Jerome has never had anything stick on him. The police have tried, they never stuck anything on him. It's never happened up until now. Jerome is taken in for questioning, and that is when the assassination attempts actually become major. So from around 2017 to now, September 2022, he survived a total of 4 assassination attempts, where in some he was actually wounded, like the one that happened in a public restaurant. You will not believe the nerve of these guys. The reason he's been chased now is because of the policeman Charles Kenya. Now Charles Kenya has been chasing the underworld for over 30 years. He's been chasing. He knows the dockheads, he knows everybody, and he knows who is with who. So he was killed in 2020. He actually do it in broad daylight. He was just arriving at home from work when some guys sped around. Was it in a bike, or 2 bikes? They sped around and they blew up this guy in broad daylight. So now, that is when Donkie Booysen was brought back in. Donkie Booysen, his brother Colin, Nafis Modag, and Mark Liffman. However, his businesses have all been frozen. I think the reason being is that they believe that some of the proceeds from the businesses were used in tracking Detective Charles Kenya's cell phone, because apparently it has come up that the cell phone was tracked so many times that you could actually pinpoint the weekly moves of the detective. So that is what we have on Jerome Donkie Booysen for now. We're going to have a special for his 6 assassination attempts. So remember, ask your question, suggest the people you need us to cover, and hit the subscribe and hit the bell. Peace.